All right, guys, we are back with the Screen Team here on KWOC, where we do movie reviews for you. Whether they are new movies or old movies, we like to mix it up a little bit and, of course, let you know about the movies and whether or not they are good. Movie reviews for you right here on KWOC and the Screen Team. We've already taken care of a film called The Witch, was a scary film that Sabrina and I were just kind of like, oh, I don't know about that. And
don't ever want to see that again.
And coming up here in just a few minutes, Sabrina and a whole bunch of good moms will be reviewing a film called Bad Moms. That's coming your way here in just a few minutes. But first up is a movie that is our 950th review here on the Screen Team, which we are very, very proud of. And the movie that we're talking about is a film that came out last April. It's the sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman. This one is called The Huntsman Winter's War. And Sabrina, like I said, this was in conjunction with the previous movie with Snow White. And this one is kind of a sequel, but also a prequel as well. It's like a dual movie. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Thank you for that elaboration. That was well done by you.
You know I'm out of my element here.
Well, it has to do with, I know there were scenes where you see what happened before Snow White and the Huntsman. You meet the Huntsman and how, excuse me, how they got trained to be the Huntsman. And then you see later on in the movie the events that happened after Snow White and the Huntsman.
Right.
Right?
It's confusing.
It is confusing. Is the movie worth people's time?
You know, I would say, like, if you've got a weekend where you can just, like, hammer through all of this and enjoy it back to back, that would be my recommendation. But to go so many years between,
right,
and then jump it back on that horse and try to ride, it was just a real bumpy.
So what you're saying is watch Snow White and the Huntsman, and then right after that, go right into this one.
Yeah, hardcore that.
So this one includes the Wicked Queen again, Snow White's evil stepmother, Charlize Theron, but it also includes a new villain, the stepmothers or the Wicked Witch or whatever the heck she is. Her sister's in this as well. Emily Blunt, she plays the Ice Queen.
Yes, because she's the baby sister, right?
Yeah, she is.
So she's the baby sister, and she's like, you know, behind the scenes at the Wicked Queen's house, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, and she's not that bad. And then she, you know, she has a baby. And I'm like, oh, you know, everything's so cute and proper. And they actually seem to like each other's company. The two queens, you know, the young queen has her love and all of that. But, you know, it's one of those, oh, you're not supposed to have that guy. He's married to a townsperson and
right.
He's just a guy, you know, in the town. You're not supposed to have this kind of relationship. And the evil queen's trying to tell her sister how to run her life.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, there's a fire. And little sister doesn't react very well. She ices up. Literally, physically, magically. I mean, like in the very, very beginning, you hear her say, I don't have magic like you. Oh, yes, she does. She just hadn't been motivated the right way to find it.
Yeah.
Well, the death of her baby motivates her to find it, and she is bad.
And she loses her heart for compassion and for love.
Yes, she absolutely says there is no room for love in the world.
Right.
Only dedication, only respect for her, and she will protect you. And so she basically goes in and steals kids from all the little neighboring countries, towns, and builds up her entire kingdom. And in this time period, these kids grow up and to be these amazing fighters.
Yeah. And,
well, in the meantime, Snow White's kingdom is gone back to Snow White, and this evil sister is supposedly gone. So, you know,
there's a lot going on.
That's where it got crazy, because you're just supposed to remember, oh yeah, that's where the other movie fits in.
Right.
So now you've got grown-up kids that she kidnapped, that that the Ice Queen has kidnapped and raised, and now they're grown-ups. And she's like, but no love. No one is allowed to love. And two of the biggest, baddest, most awesomest fighters fall in love, and they decide to leave.
Yeah.
And she literally builds a ice wall between them tortures them and convinces each other that they're dead or whatever it is. And then boom, you move into the next part of the movie where they spend 7 years living their own separate lives. And you just don't know, like, you're introduced to it to, I keep wanting to say Thor. What the heck is his name?
Chris Hemsworth?
Thank you. Chris Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like this dude that just lives out on the land, and he's a bad A, but
Yeah.
he just accidentally gets his butt kicked by his ex.
Jessica Chastain.
And that's when he figures out, you're still alive? And she has gone the 7 years thinking, you left me to die.
You gave up on me.
Yeah, and she's not happy.
So we are then, for the rest of the movie, trying to see if love is going to prevail or not.
Right.
See if the Ice Queen was right.
Right.
Or if she was wrong.
And the twists and turns that the story takes with all of that happening while they're traveling looking for some mirror that's going to give the Ice Queen all the rest of the power to take over Snow White's kingdom, you also find out, guess who's back?
The evil stepmother.
The evil stepmother of Snow White, the evil queen herself, comes out of that mirror.
So let me ask you, with all of, with babies dying, with kids getting kidnapped, with broken hearts, is this a family movie? Is this something?
No, this is not a family movie.
Okay.
Because the little kids aren't going to get it. Okay, there's nothing happening in this movie that is graphic as far as that goes.
I think it's rated PG-13 for those out there.
It's not. It's just that it's like, whew, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of content. And, I mean, the special effects and the visuals are amazing. But you really got to be on your A game there watching this movie, I think, to understand fully everything that's happening and be able to reclaim the information you were given in the previous movie.
So what you're saying is if you want to really enjoy this film, if you really want to get into it, you got to watch the first one.
Yeah.
Relatively close to the second one. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if someone hasn't seen Snow White and the Huntsman, they probably shouldn't take the time to see this one. Is that correct?
You can, but I don't think you're going to get as much out of it.
Okay.
I mean, you're just going to feel like, well, that was like full of holes.
Okay. Good enough. The movie is called, not Snow White and the Huntsman, it's called The Huntsman Winter's War. See, I'm getting confused already. You can find it on DVD. Coming up after the break, I'm going to take a back seat to Sabrina and the lovely moms, and they're going to review a film called Bad Moms. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's coming your way next, right here on KWOC.